Now the next step on Vlad's part is we're going to sand down this whole coat of primer because there's going to be a lot of little flaws in it. We're going to try to fix the flaws either with putty or whatever necessary. Get a nice smooth finish on it and get one more coat of primer on it. The damage was deep. There's going to be, what's going to happen is it looks fine right now, but what's going to happen is as we sand it down, these little flaws are going to show their ugly head, and we're going to take care of as many of them as possible. Now it's supposed to rain on and off all day, so I don't know how much of this we're going to be getting done today, but I know one thing: if I can get, it's probably going to be an hour, hour and a half of sanding and filling and everything, that I can get this ready. So if we do get a gap in the weather today, once we get that gap, I can go out there and get that next coat of primer on there. And then once we're happy with the prime finish, we'll be ready to put the blue. And maybe, and I haven't communicated with Vlad yet, if he wants to put the decals on top of the clear or under the clear. I highly recommend put them on top of the clear, just so if we have to refinish this part. And keep in mind, this is probably the one part of the bike takes the most beating on a track bike. So what we're going to do, just to see some of the spots on this that are going to need a lot of work, some work, and again, you never know until you sand that first coat of primer. This is where we had the bodywork repair. What's going to happen is the bad spots are going to come up very quickly. Now the primer that's on here will stay in the valley, but we're going to have to try to level it out as much as possible, of course. 220 paper is fine at this point. We don't need to go any finer than that. And it looks like our bodywork that we did with the Bondo is going to be just fine. Without the Bondo is going to be fine. So it's my hope we can fill this with a minimum of whatever filler we need. Maybe even just another coat of primer will do it. I don't know. We're sure going to find out. And this is one step. Yeah, because this is a track bike, maybe you'd want to skip over this and just get on with it. But I'm fussy. And I know Vlad is fussy too. And when Vlad's out on a track passing all those Lambos, I never did find out if he caught them or not. Hasn't responded yet. Maybe he's still chasing them, who knows. Anyway, good for them. They have the money for those kind of toys. I'm jealous. This is more my speed right here. But you can see what happens, and I'll work on this for a minute or so. But overall, this is going to be about half hour, 45 minutes of sanding, because I want to get down. I want everything to be smooth. Now, and it's the most important thing now, is to get all the edges, radius, get in these little scoops and little things here. Get this, oh, I can even feel it's nice. Get as much of this done, and then if we still have any low spots, and I'll be able to tell by feeling, I'll put the slightest little bit. I'm going to try to do CA. I'm going to try not to do any of that filler if I don't have to. Even this flat area here that I thought, well, you don't even see this, but as long as we're doing this, I'll take a few more minutes and there's a couple little rough spots there, try to smooth them out. Because what'll happen if you go sliding down a track on your ass and this part is facing the camera and Wendy gets it on video, you don't want to see that. These track day guys are really tough. You gotta really be tough. And you don't ever want to have a scratch right down there. Oh, no, no, no. Now, we'll get it all straightened out. There's still a couple of little rough areas here. And sometimes being fussy, the further in the beginning of the job, the further from the end of the job is what I'm trying to say, that you can get these little imperfections straightened out, the better off you are. And that CA is miracle stuff once you get the little technique down to use it. And I haven't seen anybody else post up anything about the luck they've had using it. But it doesn't really matter. All we're trying to do is share this. For anybody that's got one of these bikes that's taken a little bit of abuse. And boy, there's nothing better than the feeling you get when you have a part that's basically has to be replaced and you can just bring it back to life like this. It definitely is a lot of work, but there is definitely some satisfaction in it too. Now with all basic sanding done, I want to wipe off all the the sanding residue, and I want to just share this little trick that John Pothy has shared with me a while back. Seems to work pretty well. Once you have this dried off and you're still looking for little flaws, a rubber glove over the part. I think we got this. I think we're in pretty good shape here. Amazing to me how this all played out. And again, most of this is it just turns into a lot of labor. Getting these parts just the way you want them, it's just a lot of labor. No other way around it. Now we're pretty much satisfied with the way all the bodywork is on this. The only thing I'm not satisfied with is we're in the middle of rain, off rain, on rain. I got this area that was really chewed up at that pretty nice so far. So now we're just waiting, and I'm hoping we get a gap in the weather today where it's not going to be raining and we can get some paint on this. Now, as can happen in this part of the country, I guess anywhere, what was supposed to be on-off rain turned into rain all day, and now it looks like it's storming and blowing. So for us, is a simple rule: if in doubt, wait it out. We're going to just hang out. I don't think we're going to get weather the rest of the day, but we're pretty much ready to paint the next time we get to work on this, and we do want to wait for good weather. It's just terrible. Everything's wet, and you're not going to get a good quality paintwork. When you try to rush it, it just never pays. And I guess maybe that's the best tip you can get from this video anyway. When you're in doubt about the rain, and I have many times fallen for the trick of, I'll just get out there 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and I'm right in the middle of painting and I see little raindrops and everything, and it wipes out the day's work. We're not going to do that. Vlad isn't actually in a big rush for this. It's not going to be to our advantage to do it that way, but I am happy with the way the CA worked out for the body work. And once again, we have the whole job with no Bondo at all. So I hope you picked up some tips, hope you enjoyed this, and we're going to live to fight another day. And thanks for watching.